So you're thinking about moving to Fayetteville, North Carolina? Well, in this video, we're going to talk to you about the pros and the cons of living in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Now, if you're like most people and maybe you're military and you're PCS in here, or maybe you have to come back to Fayetteville, North Carolina to take care of some parents, or you're contracting, or maybe you're even a traveling nurse and you're wondering what is there to do here? What are the good and the bad about, Fayetteville, North Carolina? Where should I live? Where should I stay away from? So if you want to know about those items, then you want to stick around to the end of the video so you don't miss any of the important information that we want to share with you about the pros and the cons of living in the great city of Fayetteville, North Carolina. And we're going to get at it right now. Now, if this is your first time to our channel, you want to go ahead and like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be the first to receive all of the important information about the current market of the great city of Fayetteville, North Carolina. My name is Michelle Capers and I'm the broker in charge of Moving Forward Real Estate. And we get calls and texts and emails from clients just like you on a daily basis. And we are so excited to get to meet you as well as to get to work with you. Now, whether you're a buyer or a seller or even an investor looking to move to this great city of Fayetteville, North Carolina in 90 days or even 9 months, go ahead and give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, and all of our information will be in the description box below. We want to help you make a smooth move to the great city of Fayetteville, North Carolina. Now, let's jump into this pros and cons video. One good thing about living in Fayetteville, North Carolina is that there is affordable housing market is great here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. As you all know, we are near Fort Bragg military base. So with that being said, even if you're an investor not really wanting to move to the actual city, the houses here are really affordable, and there's still a lot of homes here that needs to be updated, remodeled. So you want to get in whether you're purchasing a home that's move-in ready, or looking into getting some homes that you need to rehab, some distressed properties that you want to go ahead and flip. This is a great place to invest in. Like I said, the houses are affordable here, and there's always military moving here in and out of this area all the time. And normally around the summertime is the times of the PCS season, so you will always have your houses rented when you are here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And also the homes that are closer to the area, closer to the post, those homes are a little bit more. You can get them now anywhere. The Fayetteville market is anywhere from $90,000 all the way up to $1 million. But homes that are closer to the military post, usually you'll be able to get more bang for your buck there, and they're a little bit less expensive closer to the base. So the further you get out, and of course the bigger the home is and the area that you live in, the prices can go up. But there's a lot of homes that still needs to be rehabbed that can be now. The housing market at this time, the inventory is still kind of low, but if you can get in and get you a home here, you want to go ahead and invest in Fayetteville, North Carolina, because this is a great city. Like I said, it's a great city to invest in, with the houses being very much affordable. So you don't want to rule out this area, even if you're not looking to actually come and live here. Now, another good thing of living in Fayetteville, North Carolina, I don't know if you're like me, but I love the outdoors, and we have some beautiful natural attractions here. A lot of parks and recreation. I don't know if you like to walk, there's a lot of trails here. If you're an outdoorsy person, I would think that you would love being here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, because you're able to get out and take advantage of the area, the communities. Even a lot of the communities have trails attached to that actual community, or just getting out and just walking in the actual community. And also another main attraction is the Cape Fear Botanical Gardens. It is one of the biggest main attractions here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. It is over 80 acres of beautiful grounds. If you love to get out there and walk and get on the trails, that is a great place that you want to visit when you get here. I know we have, as a church family, we have rented out the area for banquets, teas, and it's a great venue for weddings as well. Beautiful, indoor or outdoor. So if you are into the nature and beautiful gardens and this nature escapes, then you want to get out there and check out the Cape Fear Botanical Gardens. But there is so much more out there that you can get into if you want to get out there and enjoy the nature. And another good thing is the racial diversity here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Now, being that Fayetteville, North Carolina is near Fort Bragg base, that is a big flex here. One of the biggest flexes is diversity and the ethnicity. So it is very diverse here, not just one racial, group, or one overpowering another. Is very, very much the diversity here in this area is incredible. It's a good mix here. So if you're into that, some people don't really matter. Some people it doesn't really matter, but some people it does, and that's to either or. Some people love the diversity, or some people want to be closer to people that is more in their ethnicity. So, if that is you, and if you're liking the diverse, you liking to get to know different people that, necessarily doesn't look like you or from where you are, this is a great city to be in because we're well diverse here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Definitely, of course, being near this military Fort Bragg, base. Of course, there is a well diversity of officers and soldiers here from all walks of life. So if that's your thing and you love to, be in a diverse economy, Fayetteville, North Carolina is where you want to be. Now, also in Fayetteville, North Carolina, we're actually in Fayetteville, we don't have, a lot of beaches here, but we have direct access to beaches and mountains. So if you are that person that loves the water like I do, we're near the North Carolina beach, Myrtle Beach, and mountains that you can get to in less than 2 hours. So we do have that access so that you can get out there and do your traveling, do your sightseeing, do your beaching, the water, even the restaurants. When you get out there to Myrtle Beach, there is so many different little restaurants, mom and pop shops, and different type of shopping that you don't get in the local city that you can get out there when you go. Definitely a lot of main attractions, a lot of tourists areas in those areas where you can get your little trinkets. Nice to get out there and get away sometime and kind of break up the monotony of living in the in that same area that you are in. We have direct access to the mountains, cabins where you can take a week or a weekend vacation, or even sometimes a day trip. Because of us being in Fayetteville, North Carolina, we're right next door to Raleigh, where Fayetteville is a little bit smaller and a slow pace. But Raleigh, if you want that big city life, if you're into the clubbing or, different shoppings and shopping apparels or restaurants, you have so many different options when you're out there in Raleigh, and you are, maybe an hour to an hour and a half away from that. So that is a good day trip. So just keep that in mind, because sometimes we look at Fayetteville as, there's just nothing to do there. There's nothing to do there. But for me, I love living in this Cumberland County, Harnett County area because it's a little bit slower than other areas. But however, when I'm ready to get out there and do it, or see it or experience whatever it is, I'm an hour and a half away from whatever it is. So I can have all my options, the hustle and the bustle, the fast pace, the whatever you want to see and do. You can get out there and do that, and then come on home back to your quaint, quiet, more country, some people say, country living. So, that's up to you. But some people, you like the big city all the time, the lights, the camera, the action. Fayetteville is a little bit slower. The Cumberland County area and Harnett County area is a little bit slower than that. So if you're into those type of things, I don't know, that might be more of a con, because there's not a lot of things to do here like that. But there is still a lot of things to do. It just depends on what you like to do. And another good thing, an advantage of living in Fayetteville, North Carolina, is that there's a low cost of living here. So you can still get more bang for your buck, even though the economy is going up a little bit, inflation, and there's housing shortage. It's still, even though we say it's a buyer's market, it's still kind of a seller's inventory type because the inventory is still low here. However, you're still getting good, affordable, quality homes here. So, regardless of what the interest rate is doing and the flexing of the interest rates up and down or whatever at this point in time, Fayetteville is still a good place to invest in because there is items, as far as home real estate, Fayetteville is still a good place to live because of the low cost of living. And that's all the way around with everything, your food, clothing, shelter, which is your real estate, your homes. It is a lower cost. Matter of fact, we're about 20% lower than the national average, and that's according to niche.com. And you can go on that site, and it's a very helpful and a resource of a lot of things. Schools, where are we as far as the diversity, the percentage rate is, it gives you all the little nitpicky, things if you're a numbers person of the percentage of everything you will ever want to know in whatever city that you're considering, moving in. So low cost of living here. We are and we're still thriving, here. So you want to, put that on your list as a pro. It might not have everything that you want, but if you want to be able to live comfortably, I've heard one of my clients say, don't want to be house poor. You still want to be able to go and do different things and travel, see your kids and family and go on vacations and stuff. Fayetteville, North Carolina, keep more coins. Just to add to the pro of living here near this great Fort Bragg, there's a great community feel here. You can feel the love here, kind of back in the South, where everybody knew everybody. I'm not saying, this is a population of over 210,000 people. So I'm a little over 210,000 people. So of course you don't know everyone, but I'm just saying, being that we're we're in a location that we're near one of the largest military facilities, you have that community love. I don't know if you are listening to me right now and you're military and when you have gotten deployed or stationed overseas, and we are military, just retired 2 years ago. It seems like when you're over there in Germany and different places like that, people come together because it's like all you have, that you can relate. People are more friendly, people are more apt to help out and, go over to one another's house, whether it's once a week or once a month, and we do some, card games or, eating, barbecuing or, something like that. So we come together as a community. So that's a little bit more what Fayetteville is as well, being that we have this military facility base that we're near. We're more, you feel that community love. You see walking in and out of different restaurants or stores or, what have you, and people are apt to, say, hey, how you doing? How you doing? And you don't see that a lot in some cities. So the community love is great here in this area. If you are wanting that family vibe, that, like I said, that community where people look out for you, you might say that that's kind of nosy, but for the most part, now there are people that are just, why are you over here again? So no, not that, but for the most part, you're living on the street, you want to get to know your neighbors. If you leave and accidentally leave the garage door open, you have that community that will look out for you, either contact you and say, hey Joe, your garage door is open, or we'll look out and make sure that no one enters in or whatever like that. So it's that type of community, because each area that you live in, each community that you live in, there is definitely close to the military base. You have about 50% is going to be military. So even far out, but I'm just saying, it's the closer you get to the base, you have more military people, which they're prone to look out for one another, and that community is a little bit more close knit than others. So that is a good thing for me. Now, although we don't have a lot of restaurants here, and like I said, if you're wanting to get out there to have more of a variety of the different types of foods, you want to, go out to Raleigh or Greensboro or Charlotte or something like that, make it a day trip. We have a great restaurant vibe here. The scenery in the restaurants that we do have that we would call more upscale restaurants, are the ones that you want to do date night with. It is so beautiful. The ambiance is so beautiful. Some of them are located, near water, and then the lights at night, and a lot of them have areas where you can sit outside. Again, I'm an outdoorsy person. I can do everything outside. I love the water, and I love to eat outside if it's not too cold, and not too much bugs, running around, flying around. But yes, we love it. It's a nice feel. So if you're, into that and want to, like I said, have the date night, have the girls' night out, have the guys' night out, and you want, a lot of bar and grills here, Fayetteville, we still have that, we still got that vibe. We still have that going on, and that option if you, want to go out and just hang out night on the town. Now, some cons about living in Fayetteville, North Carolina is the weather. Oh, the temperature here, it gets pretty hot, and it's very humid also at those times of years. And sometimes you all, I don't know where you are living at in this great USA, but Fayetteville can have winter, spring, summer, fall all in the same week. So my goodness, just be prepared. We have beautiful seasons when they want to stay in their seasons, but sometimes we have weeks where we have all 4 seasons in that same week. So you might want to, have some pants on and then put some shorts in the car with a jacket in the trunk, or something, and always keep an umbrella in your vehicle as well. So what we call it, we have a little bipolar weather. So just want to keep that in mind. It gets really humid here. So another con of living in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and sometimes you all don't even like to mention this because there's crime everywhere, but it's a high crime rate here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. That was one of my concerns, even moving here, that, I've heard about years and years and years ago, but needless to say, I haven't had any issues, even with close family. It's not as bad as what it used to be 20 years ago. But yes, the crime rate here, according to the national average, is around 39.1%, and the national average is like 22.7. So we are a little bit higher. And with any place that you live in, there is places where, just depending on who you are, because also I don't like, discriminating or talking down $100,000 community versus $1 million community, because there's crime everywhere, there's theft, there's thieves everywhere. And then everyone has to live. So we are here to help and assist those from $100,000 homes, if that's what you can afford, all the way up to the hefty budget of, $1 million and over. We're wanting to meet your needs. So wherever you are, we don't want to price you and put you in a home that you cannot afford. We're here to help you, but we're also wanting to make sure that you're in a community, especially if you have children, elderly parents that you're taking care of, that you're in a safe community, and we'll be able to help you figure out where those areas are. There is an area here in this area, Fayetteville, North Carolina, is the Murchison Road area, and that's a little bit sketchy. That's an area that's kind of sketchy here, but you got to live. So it is what it is. So whatever we can do to get you into a home, yes, we are looking at the crime rate, the safetiness of it, but we got to do what we have to do. So that area, like I said, again, is kind of sketchy. What we call, short here, we call it the murk. So, and every area has the murk, so to speak. So that shouldn't discourage you. Don't let that discourage you from living in Fayetteville, because there's so many beautiful areas and other options. And even in the $100,000 price point, there's other areas that we can get you in if safety is an issue with you, which it is with most people. But that's why we want you to go ahead and give us a call, or shoot us a text, or send us an email, or even schedule a face-to-face Zoom meeting with us. That way we can talk and get a feel of what your needs are, and go ahead and assist you into getting what you need as far as your list is concerned. So Unfortunately, the crime rate here in Fayetteville, North Carolina is a little bit higher than some areas. So another con of living in Fayetteville, North Carolina, although it is wonderful living near a military facility for so many different reasons, one con of living in Fayetteville, North Carolina, near that military post on Fort Bragg, there's a lot of exercises and drills that's done on Fort Bragg. So you're hearing the sounds, the noise, the gunshots, and that is pretty much everywhere that you may live in Fayetteville, North Carolina, Cumberland County, and surrounding areas. Even, when I'm working as a buyer's agent, there is a residential property disclosure that we have to, have that the sellers talk about, whatever about their homes, and they fill it out. And one of those questions, I think I want to say, is number 26 on that addendum. We always check yes on that because you are near the post where you do hear the noises, the sounds, whatever have you. And that can be at any point in time. There's not a specific time. There's not a specific area, like let's just say during the summer times you hear it. No, it could be summer, winter, fall, morning, evening times. They're always doing some types of drills in there. So, and depending on what community that you're living in, the closer you are, the louder it is. Sometimes it's almost like we are in World War III or something, just like duck for cover. Oh, did I get shot? Because it is so loud there. It's like, what are you guys doing? And are we safe? Or are you shooting? Is it real guns? Am I going to get shot? So you want to take that in consideration with living here in this community, Fayetteville, North Carolina, with Fort Bragg there. You're going to hear those, the drills and the exercises and the gunshots and the smoke and the noise and whatever they use to prepare themselves to do what they do. And we appreciate all that they do. But just keep that in mind. It's a lot going on living in Fayetteville, North Carolina, next to Fort Bragg military base. And another con here, I don't think you can avoid this anywhere that you go, is the traffic. I tell you, it doesn't matter anymore what time you leave. You can leave early because somebody else is thinking, I want to leave early too. If you're thinking that you're wanting to take this route, somebody else is probably thinking that they're going to take that route as well. So it's always congested here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, whether it's a day, definitely. If it's a day where, let's say it's a 4-day weekend, people are off and stuff, just plan ahead to get to where you're going way ahead of time, whether you're moving early, leaving early in the morning or late at night. I'm even noticing sometimes that when we're coming back from wherever, we've gone and maybe we're out in what we call late, 9-ish, 10 o'clock at night, there's still traffic. It's like, where is everybody going? And I'm pretty sure they're in their car saying, where is everybody going? Doing the same thing. So with that being said, just understand when you plan to go definitely to work, you want to leave ahead of time, even if you're living 5 minutes away from the post. Sometimes just getting out of your neighborhood, if it's a popular neighborhood, definitely closer to the military base, you're still going to have, make that 5 minutes might turn into 10 or 15 minutes. So just keep that in mind when you're living here, when you move here. You're just going to have to, leave a little bit quicker, you're just going to have to leave a little more ahead of time when you're moving here to this area, because there's a lot of people that's migrating here from different areas, the Florida area, the Atlanta area. People are downsizing. They're wanting to move back closer to home, whether they lived here before or not. And like I said, there's a lot of people, younger people that are moving back to take care of their parents, traveling nurses. So they're here, contractors, they're here for a season, 6 months to a year. So this place is becoming very congested. And everybody is on the move at all times. So just keep that in mind when you get here. You want to plan ahead. Don't leave at the last minute. And if you do leave at the last minute, it's always better to get there alive and late. so just keep that in mind. And one of the last things we're going to talk about is the parking cost here. So it's like when you're going places, definitely downtown, you're going to see this a lot. And you're wanting to go to a restaurant, or you're wanting to go just hang out and just go to whatever festivity that might be having going on for that day, that weekend. The parking cost has gone up so much, and it's just not here in Fayetteville. We have noticed it in other areas as well, but just keep in mind when you're going to these places like the downtown Fayetteville, the parking cost has went up, and you're gonna have to pay, and you have to pay. You can't get around it unless you're parking 3 miles away and then walking, which is, why would you do that? Just go ahead and pay. But just understand, if you're trying to get to whatever, if it's a concert and it's an outside event that's going on, you're going to have to pay for that parking cost, and it could get a little steep just depending on how long you're going to be staying there for the day. And a lot of times they have, of course, you all know, they have day rates. So just keep that in mind when you are living or considering moving to the great city of Fayetteville, North Carolina. Those are just a few pros and cons about living in this area. There is so much more, to discuss. There's so many other positives, of course, and there's also, there's other negatives to consider when you're moving here. But overall, Fayetteville is a wonderful place to live, a place to raise your family. Definitely military-wise. Post itself is a great facility. There's a lot going on here, just depending on your style. So again, if you are into certain things, nightlife, another con here as we're closing, there's not a lot of clubs here. So you want to go out to Raleigh and Charlotte for those, and if you just like that scene all the time, then those areas may be something that you need to consider, the Raleigh, Durham area, because Fayetteville, we don't have a lot of clubs here. However, again, a wonderful place to live, wonderful community to raise your family. So whatever I think that you need, Fayetteville will be able to supply that. So you guys just know those are some of the pros and cons of living in the great city of Fayetteville, North Carolina. If you're interested, go ahead and give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, or schedule a Zoom session with us so we can go over a little bit more details. And if you've lived in Fayetteville before, go ahead and drop some comments in the description of what you loved or what you didn't like, but just make sure that you're positive about what you say. We don't want to discourage anyone to live here, because sometimes what you love someone else hates, and which they hate you may love. So but give us some comments on what you loved about Fayetteville, and then if you are considering moving to this area, let us know what is it that you want to know, and then we'll get together and hopefully make that move a smooth move for you to the great city of Fayetteville, North Carolina. As always, we are moving forward one home at a time, and we hope to see you in the next video.